Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Drawing with Jack. This is Skip Morazzi, one of the producers for Cox in Space, and this is likely your very first episode since this is the first one we're putting up on YouTube. Welcome. We do have some other episodes, but some of the audio didn't work out, and some of the videos have been lost somewhere. So if you would like to see them, you can go to patreon.com/wigwags. And you can also sign up to become a crew member there, or you can just get any of the episodes that you would like to see. They're all listed up there. You can also help us out just by liking, sharing, and commenting on this video just to boost it in front of more people. We are so glad to see you here, and we're looking forward to seeing you soon. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, your screen is green, but
Yo,
I'm not hearing you.
what's up,
Give me 1
everybody?
second.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Still not hearing you.
Hello?
I can
Caleb,
hear both
can
of
you hear
you.
me?
I can hear both of you.
It's Caleb, I think, that can't hear.
Yeah.
How's that?
Hello?
Yeah,
Nice. Okay, cool.
You can hear us?
Yes.
Very cool. Very
How's
good.
everyone? You guys good?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I had to go in for my evaluation today, my checkup, physical and evaluation, so
Good.
I can get a referral to cardiologist and a neurologist. The doctor wanted to refer me to a neurologist as well, so I got to step up at his appointments. But yeah, I went in for some tests and got blood taken today, so I am, lethargic, Jack.
But you're getting it looked into, which is the important thing.
Indeed.
I'm glad you did that.
Um,
Only the selfish
so
reason that we get to hang out when you stay alive.
exactly.
I mean, I do feel
Um,
that about all you guys. So just so you know, like, just stay alive a little bit longer, so at least we can all hang out.
Yeah. Everybody's making and everyone's shaking. We're staying alive.
Staying alive.
Good evening, fellas.
What's up, buddy? How are
good
you?
evening.
Oh man, it's going. I just had
Everyone in the crowd.
I just had a really funny thing happen right as I was about to join the call.
What was that?
There was a knock at my door. It was one of my neighbors, and she had a little girl with her, and they were like, "Hey, we were about to drive to Home Depot to get some cardboard boxes for a little art project for her." But I was driving past the other day and I couldn't help but notice that you had all these boxes. Would you be willing to spare some? I said, absolutely.
Right, like yeah, the box I've been out,
Yeah.
like take in my garage, fill up all my
Yeah, but
space.
but no,
Yeah.
like the little girl. The thing about it is like the little girl was like, "I love boxes. Can you get me one that's the size of me?" And I was like, "Baby, I can try." So I gave him another. I gave him a box that was like for a big side by side fridge door. So I gave him like a big 6 foot tall box, and she was like, "Can I have
Wow.
one that's about my size?" And I was like, "You might be able to curl up and fit in this one."
Yeah.
And then her mom was like, "You don't need another box." And I was like, "Come on, I said in like very little words, like I just kind of gave it to him, and I just kind of looked at her like, let the kid have fun,
Right, like you only get to do that one time in your life.
right?
Uh, that you
And
enjoy
I
it.
made that little kid's day. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I made those people's day by giving them a couple of cardboard boxes. So that was a neat little thing that literally just finished happening before I joined the call.
That's awesome. Yeah, when I was a kid, somewhere next door to us got a bunch of like refrigerator boxes, and so we had like three or
Yeah.
four of them. You know, right? You're like, so that as a kid, they were twice as tall as you are, and you can stretch out your arms in both directions. And so we like put them on the front porch and linked them all together. So we had this big cardboard tunnel. Man,
Yes,
best
Oh,
time of my
cool.
life. You know, like fond core
dude,
memory.
absolutely.
All right, so Jack, it looks like you're
Fun.
pulling up Ren and Stimpy stuff, which is cool. Um,
Yeah. Because we
and
talked about doing
so
color this time, right?
yeah, 100%. See, so Stimpy is the cat, right? The red and blue
Yeah.
guy. Okay,
The red and blue guy. Yeah.
yeah. So like my vote is definitely you see the red and blue of his like fur and nose. That's the red and
Uh-huh.
blue of Peter and Richard. Like I think basing a palette around that and then leaning towards the peach of the dog would like kind of be
Okay.
like a good marker. Now I don't know. That's just a vote. But Kazi, what do you think?
Um, oh, I need to zoom in and yeah, those are good colors.
Yeah, like they. So Logan was right. I think that the griminess comes from the detail more than the color,
Right.
though.
And what I was gonna point out is, Jack, if you could scroll back up,
Hmm.
like it was like one of the first like you see that close up shot of his eyes right there. That's the kind of grotesque detail, right? You see stuff like that, where
Yeah,
it's like you don't need the extra details of like the wrinkles in his ears or the veins in his eyes to understand what's going on, but they give you that anyway.
right.
And that's really what I like about your style, Kaz. It's just like you don't really need these details, but the fact that you give them makes it that much better.
So yeah, and that is true. As far as the color palette is concerned, yeah, like I think the like where his gums and nose of that character might be a good
Hmm.
color for like their wattles and like the combs.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then obviously, I mean, you said that your inspiration for the ship. I mean, you didn't say this, but you said inspiration, of course, was Space Madness, and clearly the ship. Like when you pull up pictures of Space Madness, the interior of the ship is obviously inspired by Space Madness as well. So like, there's probably a similar color palette with that too. It's a shame the show only ran for like what, 2 seasons, 3 seasons?
I mean, the best shows always do get. Uh,
It was still way too early for its time. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely appreciated after the fact, but I don't think parents at the time had the love that everybody else does for this.
Well, they were still up in arms with about the Simpsons back then.
Right, you know what I
Let
mean?
alone anything more grown up.
And Simpsons is like pretty vanilla.
Nowadays it is,
Yeah,
but
you know
back
it
then it was
is.
back then it was counterculture.
That's so crazy.
yeah, the
Hopefully,
'80s were crazy
hopefully,
time.
Cox in Space will become counterculture to the point that it becomes culture, and everyone will just be nice to each other.
Yeah, I always sort of thought that with every generation rebelling against the previous one, eventually the only way to truly rebel would be to do good.
Right? And be kind, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we have so much blue? Look at the curves of the desk, right? And all the instrumentation on it. Like that's the sort of thing I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, look, that's clearly your inspiration for the cock ship because I mean,
Oh,
you
that's
did
cool.
you did a fantastic homage to it. Um,
Yeah.
but Aaron, what's the inside of the ship? What do you think that palette scheme looks like? Well, like, what's it look like inside the pecker?
Hmm.
Sometimes you just get
Um,
to say sentences like this on this project.
Mhm.
I guess the only
Oh, that's cool.
thing I ever really thought about what color it was the crystal above the uh love drive being a hot pink.
Okay, like his eyes, like that color.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, on the left, obviously. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
cool.
that should be the color of like but like more I guess shiny,
Yeah,
'cause
right. That's
more crystalline.
so then yeah, I think it is Ren and Stimpy, but just moving it more towards white. the colors so
Yeah.
that they read brighter and less grimy. And I think that yeah, like how often are you asked to like go back to your own inspiration and mine it for all the things you love about it?
Dude, I mean, never forget where you came from.
Right.
Original animation cell.
5 seasons. That's how long Ren and Stimpy ran for.
It's not bad. Definitely
Yeah.
not syndication level, but I mean, I guess it got syndication on Nickelodeon, maybe, or probably not. No, no.
You have to get 100 episodes to be syndicated. How many
Okay.
episodes?
It's the 90s, so they were doing more. But let me double check for you.
I don't think they were doing like 20 episodes in a season.
Yeah, I don't think so. The first
Yeah.
one's only 6. I think there's something wrong with Google now. It's giving me like really bad information. On this list, it's actually the number of episodes, there's the number 10 twice, and it skips numbers 3 through 4. 3 and 4. Yeah.
Maybe some were banned.
I don't know. That that's
I
interesting.
love Google AI overview. It always gives me the worst information possible.
Yeah, the wrongest information.
The later seasons of 10
52
episodes.
episodes.
Thank you.
I just asked how many episodes of Ren and Stimpy are
What
there
did you ask?
in the
Did you
Google.
ask Google? Because Google's cancer. Google has cancer.
I asked Google because Google has all the information, no matter if it's cancer.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like I'm sorry, here's the best I could do.
Yeah, it's like if you asked it in Bing, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, thank you.
Dude.
I don't have the information, but thank you."
Thank you for thinking of me, right? Like,
Oh my gosh. Please don't leave. I have other information. Would you like to Yahoo?
Stop it, Bing. Stop it.
right, yeah, exactly. You're being too needy, Bing. Sit down in the corner and think about what you've done. You
I'm
can
going
hear
to
it
remember
mutter-
this forever.
yeah, you can hear it muttering to itself.
This is the time when somebody binged something.
Yeah, exactly. It's up on the wall. So does anybody know, is it true that if you're the first person to Google a topic, Google will send you a plaque about it?
I did not. I've never heard of that.
There was, so like, I'd never
I
heard of
just want to
it.
start Googling weird things.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, there was a dude who was proud of the fact that he'd not won one, but 2 awards because he had some unique like Google search. And it was something bizarre too. It was like, do geese fight each other when there's a full moon and vampires are nearby or something like that, you know? But I feel like I've looked up some stuff that have no results that, would also be Google award worthy, and they've never sent me an award, is all I'm saying.
All right, so the first search award doesn't actually exist.
Dang, dude.
It
Thank you for
started as a
fact-checking
joke. Yeah, yeah. It's
So it did start as a joke. Like somebody was like, sorry, you just flashed the
yeah.
pepper.
It's a Reddit joke.
Okay, gotcha. So okay, gotcha. They were like messing around and became more serious. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah,
And that's why the thing
and
that they
then
searched for was
maybe
so silly too.
yeah, and then maybe somebody sent like actually made one to send to somebody as a joke.
Right?
Or to prove that they got one.
Some
Yeah.
asshole just spent $200 on a bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
Hey,
got to commit
that's
to the
commitment.
bit. Yeah, exactly. Like if you have a bit and you like it, sometimes you can't even help yourself. But this is from the dude who dressed up as Santa Claus so he could get killed in a Detective Brooks episode. Which, by the
I
way,
did
I've got all the
fully
shots
drive with
finalized
that
for.
bit.
Yeah, you did. There should be a new Detective Brooks coming out like early next week at the latest.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so
Excellent.
like yeah, there's definitely I got the 2 shots. Pat's been out of town, so I couldn't work with him. Oh, that's where you're using that. Okay, cool.
Just checking my options right now for
That
coloring because I
that's
have shading.
exactly. But yeah, no, I got the whipped cream bit shot that you asked for, so you could see him coming in with the cups full of whipped cream, and then got him to say a different line, which is those damn squirrels messed up my order again. No, that messed up my order twice. And then he hands him out, and then there's a shot of him passing a drink back to Marazi, like from Marazi point of view as he's doing the yoinky sploinky. And he said, I got a clear shot of him saying the line that you have to dilute the acid as he's passing him the flask.
Hmm.
So I think it ties the episode together. There's like those 2 shots were kind of key because the first opening you said was strong, and then the back end needed something to like tie it together and make the jokes land. So
Right.
I think I got those shots, and I'm excited because I'm like, yes, now I can edit Detective Brooks and get it off my plate because there's a Squirrel Mafia episode that I want to write so bad. I can't do that before this last one's finished.
I'm very excited to see where we take the Squirrel Mafia.
Dude, I told you
Very
about it, right?
excited.
Like what the episode's about?
It's about the fur trade, isn't it?
Yeah, so the Roz, the lady who's like leading the group of squirrels, gets together with all the
Yeah.
Squirrel Mafia boys in like an abandoned shed. They're all dressed all like punked out and everything like that. Like the guy from the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
And they're conferencing with the squirrel Dawn. And they're like, making the big plan that they've got to get more squirrels so that they can get that nut exchange up, right? And then the meeting gets infiltrated by McCool, who arrests everybody, of course. But the Squirrel Don would,
Cool.
of course, it get away and escape to another day because he's, squirrely.
Because he's squirrely.
Because he's squirrely. I mean, he's like well connected. We should see a shot of him escaping, so that he can be
Who's
like the
Squirrel
big
Dog?
menace. Yeah, the Squirrel Don. Yeah, he's the head of the Squirrel
Squirrel.
Mafia.
Squirrely. I'm head of the Squirrel Mafia. I'm Squirrel Don. Hey, get out of here.
That's voiced by my boy Logan, who pitched it, and I was like, hell yeah, bro, we got to do that character, and then got my boss to sign off on it. It's a big deal. I mean, big deal. We got the Squirrel Don on Detective Brooks.
Like I said, all from a bit that you told me about a squirrel shot a guy.
Exactly. Like that's what the whole Detective Brooks joke has become is that it's Sam in this hopeless situation about a squirrel who shot a guy. But yeah, so after this episode, we finally get to do the flashback episode where we find out that the squirrel Don killed Detective Brooks's family, and like that's why he's under the thumb of the squirrel Don, is because he just knows that he'll come for him too. That's the big cliffhanger at the end of this
And
season.
this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So no, but like I'm hoping that the McCool infiltrating the Squirrel Mafia clubhouse will get us like for season 3 the storyline of the detective and like the chick who calls the shots in the Squirrel Mafia, like have them
Yeah.
like have like a relationship, like either they're already dating or they like fall in love but they're on opposite sides of the law or like whatever. And
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
then we follow the plot line of you and Burger Stand undercover as ghosts, like trying to get the Squirrel Mafia from from the spirit world,
Yeah.
which is like that's so like there's the dueling plots going on. Dang, Richard, you got such pretty eyes. Oh man, this is so exciting. We're actually getting to see color on the coxswain's face.
That's so cool.
BCC, big colored cocks.
Yeah.
We are following these comments. Following the comments.
Hey, so have you heard from the
Yeah.
musician, Kaz?
I really have. Like, I sent him another Facebook message today, so just waiting to hear back from him.
Okay.
I'm like, I need to just like see if he can hang out.
Yeah, that might be the thing.
'Cause-
Like I was thinking the same thing. Like, what if he wants to just like get on like a Discord maybe at some point, and we just all hang out, and like he plays music from where he's at, and
That'd be cool.
we can kind of like nail some things in. Like, yeah, I'm free during the week, but obviously you're working. But if we can work something out like in the evening, on like one of the nights you're free, it'd probably just be like a
Yeah.
one time meetup, right?
Yeah.
Is he not getting back to it at all?
Uh, well, at first he said that he like couldn't print out the script, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, you don't need to print it out. You could just read it.
Right. True, true.
I mean, he has classes, but that shouldn't prevent you from reading something online.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So he said he worked on the theme
Oh,
a
cool.
bit.
Okay.
So at least there's that.
Is he pretty tech savvy? Like
Yeah.
he works digitally with his music, or is he like recording his like using his phone or a piano? Like how's that? What's his setup?
I don't know what his setup's like. Oh, because I've only seen him live, so
Okay.
I haven't seen or know really what he's got.
Like,
Yeah, I need to just like get on him a little bit more
well, let's just see. Yeah, if
because
he wants to
maybe he
like
needs
making art alone is not as fun as making art as a group. I mean, am I right?
right. That's very true.
So like, let's see if he wants to.
Yeah. Okie dokies. Sounds
Uh,
good.
yeah, that's fun. And then yeah, if that's the case, it'd also be cool just to see if what his starting is for the theme.
Yeah.
And soon we're gonna have the panel of them singing. So I mean, you can show him that too. Be like, hey, and this is the art that's gonna go with your song for this draft.
Yep. Because I did show him the panel of the first panel that
Nice.
Jack made
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
because that's really cool and that's bound to give people inspiration.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the idea. Like we want people to know that we are actually moving forward with this. It's not just an idea, but like we're getting some stuff done for it so it can exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah,
It does exist.
it does exist, and the more that
They
we create.
do it. That just reminds me of the M&M's commercial with Santa. He does exist. They do exist.
It's real to me.
Because yeah, Aaron, like this is like we also want this to get attention so that we can, do the Christmas show again in, a couple
Yeah.
of years where we can be like, yeah, we can
Yeah.
actually back that project to make it happen. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just want to see it. You know what I mean? Like I want to see the middle part of that show. Like the intro is so interesting to me now that like I'm just like, you know, the Prometheus Pandora relationship. Like that to me is just like really, really interesting and like how they've been protecting, humans all this time, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll work on the bigger script for that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's more just like the time and the backing for it. Because like, yeah,
Yeah.
for real. Like I want to see that one get done well because it's such like I'm we've seen a lot of Christmas content. I know you've probably seen more Christmas content than I have. And it's just like that Christmas content to me, I'm just like that. I've never heard that take on Christmas before.
Yeah. It's great when there's something new and it's just not a rehash of other things.
Right. Well, and then but it is also rehash of other things, but it's done in like such a like different way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, the re-exploration of myths and legends, that's pretty fun.
Indeed.
Because we're just, like talking about what like people have liked for centuries and like using the same we like just keep retelling the same stories to ourselves over and over again.
Hmm.
Speaking of which, what have you been reading or listening to?
Whom?
Yeah.
Uh, oh, I have. I listened to Simpsons episode today, the new whatever the newest one, because I've seen these characters. I don't specifically need to see them.
Yeah, that's true, right? You like have
Um,
enough animation of it in your brain that you can just watch the episode. Yeah, I watch a lot of movies that way.
and I'm sure there's these visual back gags I'm missing, but
Right.
like I just needed something just to listen to.
That's super fun.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
uh, Also, there's a YouTuber called Comics Explained that I listen to.
Oh, I love
Um,
Comics Explained. I love that
yeah,
YouTube channel.
yeah. Right now in the comic, uh, Doctor Doom is Supreme, and he just healed the Thing, and the Thing is pretty depressed about it. Uh,
Wow. Yeah, I
yeah,
Is
saw
it
that video. I almost watched it during dinner. Sorry.
it's okay, that was just a question. It lives up to its name, right? Like they explain comics.
yeah. He just like tells this like whatever the latest issue of the comics is. He just like tells it as like a storyteller.
That's
Um,
awesome. Okay, gotcha. That's fun.
but he'll
Yeah, but
go
he's
through
like
like
really
entire
into it.
runs.
Yeah,
And
he's very into it. He's like, it's amazing. So,
yeah, he's really excited about it, which I
yeah,
like.
Right, of course that's gonna sell it. That's the I mean, if you love comics and you want other people who are like psyched about comics, that's why I love going to sporting events. Like, it
yeah,
doesn't matter what happens at the event. There's a lot of people there who are super psyched about it, so you get to be psyched about it too.
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, I see. He's like letting you see the images of the comic while he's like explaining it,
Yep.
and then he
Yeah,
like cuts
basically.
between panels and stuff like that. Okay, cool. That's kind of the idea. I think Aaron, you brought this up before too. This guy, and that's kind of like the idea for this pitch is like we're gonna be doing the narration for it while we're seeing the images run behind it
Yeah.
in a similar way. And so,
Exactly.
does he also do like explain like the lore of that episode? Like,
Yeah, he'll go into the background. He'll be like,
cool.
this thing, and back in uh, Jonathan Hickman's run, this thing happened, which informed this thing that's happening right now.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it will explain the Easter eggs as they're happening, um, in a very fun way.
And then, of course, it's like you were talking to Doctor Who, right? Like, there's such a long legacy of it. Like, because comics have been passed down from writer to writer, there's like fans that became writers that are taking the old lore and making it new. Because that's really the thing with the expanding
Exactly.
universes, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I actually should. I mean, like, I've never been super interested in comics just because the way that they're laid out is just weird for me to read. But there's nothing wrong with that. For me personally, I don't know. I like it feels like too much work to try to read a comic book because there's like looking and there's reading. You have to do that together in the right way. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with the comics. It's the way that my brain's processing it. That's all I'm trying to get at. But the it would be fun to like listen to someone explain like how it all connects. because I love that of any topic. You can tell me any like all the history of whatever, and I will listen to it.
Yeah. And honestly, like I like listening to comics explained a little bit more than reading because I can get that like background of like if there was something that I didn't read, he has.
Right.
So he can get the background that I like. I'm a huge fan of backstory.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, exactly. And yeah, his view count is definitely showing that too. Like having that, that's a really successful idea.
yeah.
So what was the one you listened to?
Oh, it was just about Doctor Doom
Oh,
curing
oh,
the thing,
oh,
and
gotcha. Right.
like
Okay.
the thing, like all of his like identity was being this strong, impenetrable hero, and now he's just back to being a human.
Oh,
Um,
curing him that way. Okay, I didn't realize that was what was
yeah,
happening. Okay, gotcha. Because I didn't. Yeah, like
yeah.
he
So
wasn't
he's
born a
just
rock.
human, and he was worried that like his wife wouldn't like him anymore. He worries he can't protect his family anymore,
Hmm.
and like he went to his wife's father, who's like a villain that can control minds, because he wanted like to not feel that way. He wanted to like feel fine, and he wanted like the villain to manipulate his mind to so that he wasn't depressed.
Huh. Okay. Wow. Did it work?
Yeah. Uh,
Did
uh
it work?
Yeah.
his
Right.
wife
Like,
called him out on it.
oh no.
Uh, yeah.
I mean, like, if there was
So
if you could have a villain trick you so that you wouldn't feel like you were depressed anymore, would you pick that option? Because I would be like, yes. Like, can you just, I'll be like, always make me believe that I'm happy, and then like I'll live my life.
According to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, you'll eventually find your way back to what was, you know, causing you the grief again.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, if you don't
yeah.
fix the problem, you always return back to it,
Yeah.
just because that's the way that you're used to being. Yeah, yeah, okay. Uh, so you'd have to actually have the villain like fix you, or like I don't know,
Yeah.
make you
I
stop being
mean,
the shape you are.
yeah, there's no real the only real solution is to go through it and heal,
Right.
Yeah, I said
which
fix.
is
Yeah, heal.
the
Yeah, it
entire
doesn't.
point of the comic,
Uh,
which is pretty awesome when comics do like something poignant like that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've always believed that. Like, no matter what the medium, like you can always tell a deeper metaphor while having a fun adventure on top of it. I
Yeah, I
personally
think
believe
that's
that's
the
the point.
reason. Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people don't give comics their dues because they don't realize that it's not the window dressing on the story. I mean, like, if the story is legit, then it really is about the message and not because it was like, people in their underwear doing it.
Right?
That
Yeah,
just
exactly.
is the window dressing. But what do I know?
Yeah,
I'm
well, I
just a
mean, because
weirdo.
I mean, forever, like throughout history, people have told themselves superhero stories. They'll just call them hero stories generally about,
Hmm.
so and so, and that's the stories they share around because it's what people aspire to be and like what makes them great. And I'm pretty sure all stories started out with some guy or woman like wanting to explain an idea to a group of people in an interesting way and just using a deep metaphor to do it. Or our subconscious has spit that out all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we're always trying to convey our experience to other people.
Exactly. I mean, that's what, I feel like the beginning of human experience was trying to translate or convey, it's crazy shit's popping off over there.
Well, then also, I mean, like our fingerprints are put out in everything that we create anyway. You like our
Mhm.
sorry, our psychological fingerprints. So like even if I think some people weren't meaning necessary to like share their experience through metaphor, That's all they're gonna have to draw from in order to like add details to a story that's fictional. Well, that's cool.
See if I can.
I'm probably gonna only be here for like the first 45 minutes or so, guys. I have a 2.5 hour drive to Jonesville, Louisiana in the morning.
Dang.
Oh wow.
Okay, so just weigh
Oh
in
yeah.
really quick.
Half hour.
So we kind of like all went through that the style. How do you feel about it? Like as far as the color palette?
So far, I'm liking it. It looks
Yeah.
really good.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna try to get a little jiggy here with it too. So
Nice.
don't think it's done yet.
Getting jiggy with it. Na.
Yeah.
Jiggy with it.
Yeah, because I mean, you had the same level of detail to the color that you put into it, if I remember. I mean, yeah, there you go. Shadows and highlights. So I cut down the time lapse video to like 2.5 minutes instead, and put like subtitles on there so that people who are watching it silently, like I do most of the time, can also see like, you know, I just kind of explain what the page is about or what we're up to with the project. Uh,
Gotcha.
so I've been putting it out over Instagram. Is there like another place that'd be better to put out like a short time lapse video? Should I be posting them on TikTok?
TikTok
Yeah,
might not be bad.
TikTok
Yeah,
would be a good thing to try to get into for sure.
Like that 2.5 second video, you're just like seeing it, just scroll by. Is there other ones I'm missing?
make
Like,
a
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that people would just like, get sucked into. I think,
yeah, that's the thing.
they
Well,
start
I don't know
watching.
about you guys, but every time that I watch the video, like I come across it, end up watching some of it anyway, right? Even though I've seen, I was there when it happened. I've seen the quick like time lapse, but I'll just sit and watch. Like it's like cool to see something unfold.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because like Jack, I think the first one I showed you too, like of you drawing it, and you're the one who drew it. Like we sat and watched the whole thing because you're like, yeah, like there it is, it's all coming together.
I loved it. I love it. Yeah. I definitely sat and watched it myself. Like, yeah. So I mean, I haven't made a lot of those videos. I don't know if that's like a surprise or whatever, but it's like I don't I don't make a lot of videos of me, making artwork. So when I see it, it is, pretty cool. I should make more, but
Well, it does take
not
time, and
yet.
it's just like another step in the process. So I understand for you personally, who's like doing it, you're like, it's cool. My art is speaking for itself. But like just, I was like, well, if we're here, let's film it and make it an actual, at least something that people can see that we're making strides forward with it,
Right.
which is a great way, in my opinion, to build trust with just our friends and family who are like, well, it's a fun idea, it looks cool, and they'll be like, well, they've been going at it for quite a while, so it looks like it's actually a thing.
it's happening
Yeah, exactly. At last, it's cots in space.
at last.
So, update on the podcast, all the audio that I've recorded for so that I can post it like as like, people can listen to us, like share this topic or whatever we've talked about. But either you guys weren't recorded or I wasn't recorded. So it's like that weird thing that happens, when you're listening on someone's phone conversation where you have to speculate about what the other part is. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think I fixed it for this one, so we should all be on the same audio. But yeah, none of those episodes exist at all. They're just time lapses. If anyone's keeping track. Booties. So I was thinking that since, I was missing from one track and you guys are missing from another track, I was just gonna put the two tracks together and have like the most insane podcast ever. Because it's gonna sound like nothing's gonna be in the right place and all the responses are gonna be to different questions and stuff like that. So it would sound like we're just like monkeys in a madhouse, just gibbering.
Yay,
Or
monkeys.
yeah, or 6 hours into like a mushroom trip where everybody's laying on the floor being like, oh, you know, even there's
I remember one time
dripping
I was
sweat. Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
I was gonna say, I remember one time I was tripping so hard, a buddy of mine sent me a meme, and I thought it was written in Greek.
Wow.
Yeah, I woke up the next day and it was just a poorly edited meme of the My Neighbor Totoro like movie poster, but it said My Testicular Tortoration or like Tortorsion or some shit like that.
Testicular torsion.
What testicular torsion?
Yes, and
Dang.
like I said, I was tripping so hard I thought it was written in Greek. So when I woke up next day, I laughed about it even harder because I was like, damn,
That's
I
the
thought this
move.
shit was written in Greek.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
all Greek to me.
So I got to watch a Mitch Hedberg special at work this week, or listen to it anyway, and I just forgot how classic he is.
So
Yeah.
funny.
One-liners and dry humor.
Yeah, exactly. And he just keeps rolling with it. Like he'll be like,
Right.
you know, just one after the other. Yeah, his personality just like made him as a comic. He could really say anything, any of the strange thoughts he has, and you'd be happy to listen to it.
I heard like a Mitch Hedberg like type of thought one time. Somebody just like looked at me one time and was like, "How many holes does a straw have?"
Oh,
And
dang.
I was like, "Bro, shut the fuck up. It's
Yeah.
one long hole."
Yeah.
Okay?
That's yeah.
Like I'm not,
That's
I don't
definitely
know.
one opinion on it.
Like
Yeah, but that's definitely Mitch
I
Hedberg
felt
type of thought,
threatened.
right?
I felt threatened by the question. I was like, "What do you mean? Stop playing with me like that."
Right.
I didn't tell him that though. I had to assert myself and just be like, "Dude, it's one long hole."
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like don't mess with me.
Right.
Aaron, I did get to listen to Palisak's new I don't know if it's a new special, but his special he called He's Friendly. Have you heard it?
I've been listening to several of his specials. I don't know if I've seen that one though. Is it?
Dude, he just
Hold on.
aged so well. Like his comedy was always really good, and like the more that it exists, the more I'm like, dang, dude, like he just, that was what he was made for. He's just a really good stand-up writer.
Yeah, there's one joke of his that I'm always been just so jealous about.
Which one is
I
it?
just read the book. I just read the book 1984. Things were so different back then.
Dang, dude. Oh, well, so that's how I got him at Tedberg because yeah, Palisek, like the way that he delivers his comedy is just it's like that. Like it's the goofiest thought, and he's just smiling through it, and then he just tells you like some of those things. Like on that set, you'll know it if you've heard this one. He imitates a cow getting slaughtered. No, like, but but like he's doing it, and the audience is dying laughing because he's obviously he's told us that he's doing this for his son, so he can explain like where beef comes from, like the food that he eats. Like his son loves animals, but he also wants him to know, like, we're part of like the food chain, and so like he does. But
Right.
the debate goes on for like 30 seconds or something like that. Like it's a long, long joke. Um, but you just love him because of like he's got that Mitch Hedberg vibe.
Yeah, he's really good.
So
I did listen to that special because
you have seen it. Okay. I knew you were going to know that joke in particular.
yeah, it came out 5 months ago, which
Okay.
I was like, I swear I've listened to something recently, but
Nice.
maybe he did another special more recently.
Well, that's why I was hesitating. I was like, I like have not, don't like follow him, but like every time I see like that he puts stuff out, I want to watch it because he's just so funny. But
Yeah.
I hadn't seen like he'd released for free like a full hour or whatever, and yeah, just but right, like
Yeah.
it's not that bit is not gross in any way. Somehow he makes you like okay with like his slaughter of a cow.
Yeah.
Like, dang, dude, it's all about personality and stand up.
Yeah.
Well, all
May
right, boys.
23rd.
I'm about to have to get out of here, but
Dang.
it's always a pleasure. Like I said, it's
Yeah.
an honor to be involved at any level.
We love you, man.
Thank y'all so much.
Safe travels, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming through.
Absolutely. I'll check in tomorrow.
All right, man.
All right.
Same time,
See
same
y'all
different
later.
place, at least.
See ya.
23rd is what, Chicago?
Oh, 23rd is my hour.
Oh, where's
Cause and
that
effect.
at? You're gonna do cause and effect. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so excited for you. That's been a long time coming. Oh, you muted yourself. You get so excited.
Yeah,
Where's it
yeah.
at?
I got a phone call and it always
Oh,
mutes whenever I get
oh,
any sort of phone calls.
right, of course.
Yeah, no. It's at this little place in downtown Toledo, and I'm gonna put what we put together to use.
Nice, man. That's so cool. Well, you have enough material now, right? So like that's, I mean,
Yeah,
you can stand behind it because you're like, yep, that's all my material. That's
this is
uh,
it.
yeah,
This is the culmination, everyone.
yeah,
I've been doing
sweet.
it over 15 years. I should have at least 1 hour out
At least,
there.
yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Are you gonna
Proof.
proof?
I'm paying somebody to film it.
There was the
So
question I wanted answered. Okay, cool. Yeah, because absolutely. Do they have a multiple camera setup?
yes,
Okay, good.
and I'm so excited about that.
Are they also editing it?
Yes, I
Okay,
believe so.
good. If not, figure out a way that I can do that for you.
Okay, that would be great. I
Oh,
think they are going to.
okay.
I think
Um,
that's part of the package.
Sweet. Again, and like I hope that that's the case because that would make more sense for them to do it. But if not the case, I can definitely put those multiple cuts together.
Excellent.
Yeah, because it's all about the right angles at the right times.
Yeah, and then I'll see how it goes, and like I assume I'll I assume it'll end up on YouTube.
Which as it should,
Unless I
right? I mean,
can,
like, yeah, so you can continue to get more work. People can see your material and be like, oh, he is funny. Love that energy,
yeah,
right? And then um, that's
yep.
just it, because
It's got to be a
the
place where people.
sorry,
Oh, it's just got to be a place some people can see it.
yeah, exactly. Like if people don't know that you're doing stand up, then they can't invite you to do stand up.
Exactly.
And like, I have never been to a Michael Palisak show, but I love to watch his comedy. And like just helping promote it, like brings views to it.
Yeah. Oh, I actually did get to see him maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. He
Really?
came to the Toledo Funny Bone. Um,
So you got
and so I got to meet up with
you got
him,
tickets. Ah, that's
hang
awesome.
out.
Oh man, that's so awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that would be definitely be a great experience. I'm hoping to do it before, he stops touring. Because it
Oh,
would be,
he's still going around. So
yeah. Well, it's always been about like whether he's in the place that I am and whether or not I could afford to see him. It's a combination of those two things which has happened.
yeah,
Or I was in a place that I was like even looking to see comedy.
I totally understand.
But yeah,
Uh,
no, I think that it would be fantastic to get that opportunity.
and I'm lucky because he's like from the Midwest, so he goes around the Midwest decently often.
That makes
Uh,
sense, right?
yeah, I think he's from Indiana.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly. He's probably talked about it, but that's the idea that I get got. So
And
I
he's one of
met
the first people I met in Chicago.
that's I was gonna say that
Uh,
about him too. Like he was in the first improv class that I went to, and I got
oh,
to like
nice.
actually I got to hang out with him, and I was like, oh, this dude is awesome. You know what I mean? Even though neither one of us was
Yeah,
any good at improv at that time. But then like as I've like I never had any interaction with him after that, but he just like lived up to the first impression that I had of him that he is an awesome guy. And yeah, his work is phenomenal for that.
Yeah, he always did the jam on Saturdays at IO,
Okay, cool.
so that's where I met him.
Nice. Yeah, like he's just and just he's that friendly on stage too. Like I'm sure like as he was in the jam, people would just like enjoy being in scenes with him.
Yeah, I miss improv jams.
Yeah. A very special kind of clusterfuck. I mean, they've got a lot of like energy, and you're gonna see stuff you've never seen anywhere else. That's for sure. Aaron Cosby.
What?
Oh, okay.
Here.
What do you miss about the improv jams?
Honestly, the community of it, and just like it was just fun to do games because improv games is where I came from when I started. So it was just fun stuff. Good improvisers, just like hanging late nights.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Also, I was 19, so
Yeah.
like it's just like a core memory.
Yeah, it's like the college experience, right?
Yeah, yeah, because Second City in IO, it's my college.
Right, yeah, exactly. I mean, it does give you an education of a very specific sort when people like
Yeah.
not just take the classes, but live in that community for a few years.
Yeah. Plus, my apartment was a studio with a roommate, so that was like a dorm. Um, and I got involved with like a college college ministry and a drama ministry, and so I was pretty like doing everything that that a person would do with except for parties. I didn't get invited to parties, but uh, that's
I mean,
okay.
you were at the Vortex.
That's true. I was at the Vortex.
So like, I
They had a
mean,
party.
the party found
Yeah.
you more or less. So
Yeah,
it's not
I
like,
was invited just because I already lived there.
yeah, exactly.
Uh,
You weren't uninvited to the party that was currently going on,
yeah. And did
which
you
is
ever go to Mike Marbach's like Philadelphia parties?
no, I think I found out one time that you had gotten the chance to go, and I was like, dude, what? What is even going on? I heard they were awesome.
He just made everyone a Philadelphia cheesesteak, and we just hung out, and yeah,
See, that's pretty
we
cool.
just hung,
That dude was pretty cool.
improvisers
Yeah.
eating Philadelphia stuff, and he also had like tasty cakes, which I guess is a Philadelphia brand. Uh, it's like Hostess, but Philadelphia.
Right. I've definitely had a tasty cake. But yeah, no, that's pretty awesome, man. Uh he runs a theater group, but it's not like not one, it's a bunch of them.
He runs, yeah, he runs something. He ran something in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and it
He currently runs
expanded.
something in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, too. I think I saw like three or four locations.
That makes sense.
Well, yeah, no, I was like, oh wait, these are all interconnected because they all have like like unique names that kind of sounds the same. And then I was checking out their staff, and I was like, oh, Mike, yeah, that's how cool is that? Uh, so yeah, he's just spreading the good word of improv across the land as you should.
Yeah, he's a good apostle.
Yeah, because I mean, how else can you foster like people working together towards a common goal except for like in an art form like that. And that's why it's been really exciting for me to see like how many improv theaters there are across the country.
Which is also the only way to make money in improv, is to
Yeah,
get people to pay for classes. Uh,
I guess so. I mean, there's very few like second cities in Chicago, right? Um,
yeah,
that can
I
support an
mean, there's.
audience, or the UCB in LA, just because,
But do they pay their? But do they pay their improv actors?
Oh no, I mean, of course, the house makes money.
Yeah.
Why would you pay your actors? Um, it's sick and wrong, actually, that aspect. But like, if people are paying to come see you, you should be making a cut.
Yeah.
But I guess probably some of them they do. But yeah, I mean, it's either that or you have to like strike out as an independent artist, doing tours and like that sort of thing. Because that's the other way to do it. Make art that
Yeah,
sells.
you'd have to be the draw, like TJ and Dave. Mission Improbable, I feel goes to I auditioned for them once. Um, I couldn't drive, and that was a requirement.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Couldn't drive at that time. Because they
yeah,
tour like the Midwest, right?
yeah, yeah. I think they do colleges mostly.
Okay, gotcha. So that's a way someone else found out how to make money, like doing shows, right? Go to
Yeah,
places that need performances. Hey, so gents, we're
and
right
there's no
at
central
that first
location, so
hour.
they can just.
Just so
Oh,
you know, you talking about how there's no overhead for because there's not
yeah. There's
one
no
central
overhead because they
or
don't
or
have their
less.
own theater
Yeah,
to pay for.
less overhead. Yeah, rent is a huge one, right? Um,
Yeah, yeah. It's
for
like
like a prime location.
yeah. It's like Megabus. it didn't have a physical location, so their fares were cheaper. I don't know if they still exist though.
I can't tell you the last time I saw a sign for a megabus.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long, 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 long time. But it's possible they exist somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not
Like
really
Been a
in.
while.
me.
What was that?
Sorry.
No, whoa, whoa, whoa.
That stained song. It's been a while since I
There
have
you go. Okay,
had.
it's been a while. Yeah, that's totally the right color for his shirt too.
That's so good.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one that Captain Picard is wearing on Ryzen, isn't it? Like that's the color shirt he's wearing.
I think
That
it might be the same shade. I was thinking more of the casual Kirk
yeah,
green.
that's what it
Yeah,
reminded me of too.
yeah. Also, that's exactly the color. And I wonder if maybe I'm misremembering because I'm thinking of Kirk in it and just putting that on Picard. I'm gonna look that up in a second. I'm looking at Megabus right now just to see if it's still running because I'm curious.
I think it is. I mean,
Yeah,
Megabus.
it is. It's still around. It's actually in New Orleans. That would make sense. I haven't been down there in a while, so.
Last time I heard about Megabus was when someone got stabbed to death on it. It was
Oh.
pretty. It was pretty big. Like, but it was back in the 2010s. It was like 2016, 2017. It might have been earlier than that, but it might have been even like 2013 or something like that. But some Canadian guy was on the Megabus and was just chilling, and some guy next to him just freaked out and just stabbed him to death.
Oh, I remember that story. Yeah, that's right.
And I used to take the Megabus all the time when I was dating a person that worked at the Mayo Clinic. I used to take the Megabus all the time up to Minnesota. So just
Yeah,
scary.
that is scary. You're like, oh, it's at any point someone could freak out. You're totally right. You guys both nailed it. It's leisure wear. it's totally Leisure Wear from did you use that as a reference, or is that just in your brain that you're like it lives there rent free?
Oh yeah. Kirk in his leisure wear lives rent free in my brain.
No.
Please don't judge me for that. But
I'm just I was like you're like I wish I could rent it out to someone else, but no one's taking the space.
I've seen the original series probably 3 or 4 times back to front. So
Wow.
um, you know,
Wait, do you
a lot
actually
of
watch it
things.
from the end of the show?
Yeah, like sometimes, you'll get done with a rewatch and you'll be like, I want to go back and watch the highlights. So you'll go back through and watch, or at least I do. You'll skip episodes that you don't want to watch, but you'll go back through and watch, episodes that you really like. Sometimes episodes you forgot about.
Yeah.
So then
The
what's
I
original
actually just
series is
found I haven't put it in, but I found like these special edition Star Trek original series, all 3 seasons for like $5 a piece. So
what?
at Goodwill.
VHS, right?
Uh, no, just regular DVD.
Nice. Okay.
Um,
that's cool.
yeah, it's some special edition DVD release, and it's, all the episodes of the original series. I was like, I'm not gonna pass that up for $15.
Right, right.
Uh,
That's awesome. So what's your favorite episode?
the City at the Edge of Forever, where they go back to World War II, to make sure uh, there's a character who has to die because she had the right idea but too early. Um,
What? The
Wow,
the
so
the
yeah,
yeah.
Enterprise has to make that choice?
like
Because
this woman gets killed in the so there's this gateway that goes into the past. Bones goes crazy, goes into the gateway. They decide they have Kirk and Spock run into the gateway so that they can try to get him.
Okay.
It's a pathway to like just before World War II, America.
Okay.
Um, and they're at this um, they find shelter at this like homeless shelter type deal, like where they're able to work a bit and like have a place where they can um, eat and sleep while they're trying to like build communications and then also try to find bones.
Okay.
Uh, and there's this lady who runs this place who Kirk and her hit it off as they do.
Because he wants to hit it, right?
Yes.
mm,
um
they hit it for sure.
and yeah, that's very apt because she does, yeah, because so if she lives, she starts a peace movement that would prevent the United States from getting involved with World War II, and therefore Nazis win.
That plot line is mad sus. What? Like that
Yeah.
sounds like
So,
straight up propaganda.
I mean, a little bit like, yeah, if the United States doesn't get involved with World War II, yeah, Hitler wins. Uh,
Right, but because of a peace movement?
yeah, that prevents them from getting involved with the war.
Well, I'm just thinking about the time that the original series comes out, because doesn't it come out in the middle of Vietnam?
Um, I don't know my timelines for. Hold on, let me look at.
Yeah, I'm looking it up
This
right now
is
too.
not.
Because if that's the case, I mean, doesn't that sound like they're like, hey, don't protest the military action that we've got going on? Uh, because, we might not destroy Hitler.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just like, and I know I'm being like super cynical about Star Trek, but like, what?
Yeah, it's like basically trying to say, everything has its time. Like peace
Yeah.
has its time, and
Is that how the episode ends?
she has
Yeah,
to die. Yeah, like Kirk
yeah.
has to
They
let her
let her get
die.
hit by a bus or
Yeah.
something like that.
Caleb's like, what?
Yeah, no, seriously. Like, I'm glad they dropped a bridge on Kirk. Like, that's such a terrible decision. I mean, okay, so it is. I mean, the show is coming out in the middle of where Vietnam's happening because it's happening from 67 to 69.
Yes,
So,
indeed.
like, and this is okay, this is just headcanon conspiracy because obviously, just finding out about it, I have nothing to like back this up, but like it sounds like they got paid some money to write like a, protesters sit down episode.
Definitely not.
So like
There's one thing. I
so
mean,
that's
that
so that's
show was
what
making no money,
so that was
and that's
Roddenberry's
famously
stance
why it only
though.
lasted. Well, I think it was a different kind of it's a different kind of outlook where you think because one of the big things, I mean, Roddenberry he was in the Navy, so he
Oh,
did
okay.
believe in military like might.
Okay.
He believed in like a need for military might. That's why Starfleet is so regimented and why it's kind of based off the Navy.
Gotcha.
Um, but I believe that he probably because these are things that I've heard in my like studying of history and stuff, where it's like sometimes war is necessary. It's a very dubious claim, but people make it, and they use the Civil War, American Civil War, the French Revolution, and and World War II as examples, where it's like questions were definitely answered in those wars, which they were. The question is just really begged if there wasn't a better way for us to be able to answer them. But they're kind of sneaking that past with the premise that the wars answer the questions, and that's ipso facto war is necessary.
Right.
But there's like a kernel of that in this, where it's like you know, too much suffering, too many lives would be cost because of the pursuit of peace, which is a noble pursuit and a necessary pursuit, but at this time, it would have derailed history in a way that let the Nazis gain power. So, kind of like the way that uh, moderate politics today in America and bipartisan neocon and neoliberal capitalist politics um, are kind of like stagnating progress like now,
Right.
and how the rise of those sorts of things have an effect, a chilling effect on other things, or the rise of anything has a chilling effect on something else. Um, so it's just like putting things towards that end. It is shitty that it has to be a beautiful woman that we have to just let her get fucking brushed by a boss.
Yeah,
Um,
that is the shocker of a Star Trek episode. So Aaron, let me bring it back to you real quick. Why do you love this episode so much? I mean, obviously, like I had some things to think about it, but like you said, this is your favorite episode.
It is just because it was a little bit more profound than a lot of original series episodes.
That's fair.
Um, I I I love time travel. It's one of my favorite tropes
Same,
in
buddy. Same.
uh, in anything. And yeah, I agree. World War II is like you have to stop Hitler. Uh, like there's no, I don't know that there's a peaceful way to stop Hitler. Um,
Yeah, I
so
mean,
yeah, because I do because also like I basically believe like sometimes you need to have like military to do stuff.
yeah, well, it goes back to the original reason why armies were raised was because there's people who, want resources and they're going to come after you for them, right?
Yeah,
So
like
you
I
need to,
love hippie ideas of peace, but also it seems more that they aren't in every country.
No.
They're only in the like countries where peace is possible.
Well,
Uh,
they're not in every government.
yeah,
Yeah, they do exist with people. I mean, peaceful people everywhere, but yeah, they definitely
sure.
don't exist in every government.
There ain't no Putin ain't no peacenik.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So you're saying because the threat exists, right? There's only people who can love freedom because they have their freedom protected.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Like I mean, we do talk about it, the world from a very like uh privileged position, just being in America.
Yeah. Which is great. I ain't gonna knock privilege, because I do enjoy it.
Right,
Uh,
like oh, that's cool.
What? Oh, I have it on screen.
Oh, gotcha.
Where are we at time wise?
So we're about just over an hour and 10 minutes.
Well, cool.
Yeah. So it was actually the coloration of this ship that really got me thinking about color. Because there's a conversation that we had where I was like, I love the detail that's been put into it. I love the shape of it, like the design. Like it looks cool. And then I'm like, and it's so much white. And like I knew that
Yeah,
like if you had color, you would be able to give it like just that extra thing that it needs. Um, and all the times, like again, like when we even talked about the more detail on it, I was like, yeah, it's already so good, and there's just like little things that make it pop more. Uh, and that's what I was like,
yeah,
maybe it'll be easier for people to like buy into this comic when they're like, dang, look at it like that too, the color of it.
yeah. I'm gonna take some of this gray back out of it. Here, I'm just getting a nice full coat down just so that I can experiment with how I get rid of it so that I can bring back in the white and kind of make it look like it's just got some you know some metal sheen on it instead of just kind of like a flat gray thing.
Yeah, well, that was the thought. Like giving you color just gives you one more dimension to work in, which is where you're gonna add that extra rich detail, and that's what makes it eye-catching.
Well, it will definitely be more eye-catching, that's for sure. Um, I really do, occasionally like things that are in total black and white, but you have to really go into detail for real to, I think, get the most out of black and white. So, um, there's this Tarzan comic from the 90s, boy. I forget who draws it, but it's Japanese. And let me tell you, dude, my man fucking snaps off with the detail. Uh, there's one panel where I said Conan, right? Did I say Tarzan or Conan?
You said Tarzan, but you mean
Tarzan.
Conan?
Tarzan. It was Conan. Sorry,
Okay.
Conan. My bad. There's one panel where I'll never forget this panel where Conan is being surrounded three bandits, and the grass is just all these different like crosshatch patches, just hundreds of crosshatch patches where this
What?
dude just put clearly hours of work into drawing the sand or the grass when he didn't have to. He could have just, made it just, whatever. But he put all this time into drawing. I mean, dude, I wish I could find it because it's truly one of the best panels of artwork I've ever seen in my entire life. Um, just, I mean,
So you're talking about oh no, it's
it,
Japanese, right? You said not it's not mainstream Marvel.
It's not mainstream Marvel. No, it's a
Okay.
Japanese Conan book. I forget, where it came from and who made it, but I know that it's from the 90s. It came out in the 90s for
It
sure.
did come out. Okay, it did come out in the 90s.
It may have been it may have been a print, like a graphic novel print run of something that came out earlier. I don't know, but I remember my dad getting this book in the 90s and it being like you know, a big deal. Like we read it together and he was like, this is what, this is how you.
Because your dad was an artist
This
too,
is
right?
what's best in life, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. My dad was an artist too. Yeah. What'd you say, Aaron?
This is what's best in life.
Yeah, exactly. He's
Those
like,
moments.
this is the
Uh,
good shit, kid.
yeah.
Don't ever question it.
Did he? So he pointed out like why the line work was also good.
Yeah, like he pointed out the detail and he said,
That's
think
so
about
cool.
like how you would do that. Like how would you do that? Think about how long that would take. Like how would you do that right there? Tell me, how would you do that? Okay, now how long do you think that would take?
That's
My
awesome.
dad was my dad was like very reverent of certain um, like artistic styles and like artistic approaches. Um, and he definitely loved characters like Conan, like Tarzan, and he when an artist really treated their well, material well, he just ate it up. And he wasn't usually like he wasn't a fan of anime. Like he was a fan of like classic like 1950s like Marvel shit. Wasn't a fan of anime, but he was a fan of like well proportioned and detailed like comic work. So man, I am
That's awesome. Yeah, so I realized that that's the reason that I love to write also is because my dad used to read to us at dinner and like at bed, like the books that he was reading. So there would
okay,
just be like, and he was reading like all this sci fantasy stuff that like, long, long stories of like, adventures, through, the realm or whatever. Um,
right?
and so like it's just like just the love of stories because of like how cool there is the content that's contained in the book. You don't know until you open it up. And he was always excited about reading it. And so yeah, that's definitely isn't that interesting? Like we're like programmed before we even know what's going on.
Yeah, 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 man. My dad, he was like really into sci-fi. So like, yeah, before I ever even like knew what was going on, like, yeah, like I watched The Terminator and The Thing and uh, Alien and uh, Scanners. Like I was,
I was too
yeah, man.
young
My
when I
dad
saw
was a
that movie
freak,
for sure.
dude.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I was way too young when I saw a lot of those movies, and it's because my dad was just like, "Oh yeah, what? Look at this. Isn't that messed up?"
Right? Like,
Yes, Dad. I'm 4 years old.
right.
Um, but yeah, like my pedigree was definitely like Star Wars, Star Trek, and uh, like weird sci-fi, like Alien, The Last Starfighter. Um, yeah, just like weird stuff like that, and it really left an indelible impact on me of how I viewed sci-fi, and it's like it definitely has a like a weird bend. Like, I feel like it has a weird bend if it has any like worth, or it has like a stylistic bend, like it's trying to do something stylistically impressive and maybe new, maybe pastiche, but it's trying to hit a tone, and it's not just some cookie cutter shit.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what sci-fi and fantasy is about, is like going beyond, right? Like our normal
Yeah,
experiences, and we can of course only approach them from our normal experiences. But let's just explore it in like a safer way that doesn't feel so obtrusive sometimes.
yeah. Well, I mean, it teaches us something about ourselves, about the human experience, and doesn't, pull punches.
But at the
Like
same time, is escapist, so that we don't have to keep dealing with the drama we deal with every single day in the
it's
same
true.
flavor,
I
right?
mean, yeah, you do like that's like the thing where it's just like, you know, like that uh Star Trek episode isn't helping you escape because you're thinking about how they're fucking over that poor woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, but definitely am I late? I have to be on the right. Yeah, there we go. Definitely I'm trying to think too, like what my favorite TOS episode is, because I don't know the name of it, but it's like the one where they go to some mining colony and there's a silicon life form that like lives in rock that's like uh, being killed by the miners, and they try to hide it from Kirk and everybody, and like they find out that this like Spock finds out the silicon life form is living there, and Kirk gets pissed, dude. He's like, "You guys are murdering these fucking living things."
I've
And
actually seen that episode. Yeah. I think I remember that because when I saw it, it was such a novel idea, right? That life forms could take on, it doesn't have to be like carbon like us.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the thing that like really blew my mind. I was just like, dude, imagine being a life form that fucking is made out of and like can just like run through rock.
Right.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, that blew my mind as a kid. That episode also has one of the best line reads in Star Trek ever, where at the beginning of the episode, this guy, this miner, he's like out, just working on some shit, and they're like, I'll see you back at the, fucking commissary or whatever, blah blah blah. And he this is working on some stuff, and then like the camera turns into that camera that like is like looming towards and like coming for him. He turns like, ah! And then like these guys hear him like screaming and come running back, and they don't even show what happened to him. They just show like smoke rising up, and it just like pulls in on this guy, and he's just like, Smithers, no. He's like,
Right.
I'm just like fucking Smithers, dude. He's like Smithers, no. It just kills me every time I think of it.
The episode's called Devil in the Dark.
Double in the dark. There you
Yeah,
go.
nah, you can know.
And my last TOS watch was, I think, in 2015, so like before the Trump administration. So
Oh, dang.
I haven't
So it's been
actually.
a while.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a
Um,
while.
haven't put my rewatch. I need to get another rewatch in for sure.
There.
So,
So you haven't seen the leisure wear in 6 years, and it was still the first thing on your brain. And you're like, yes, leisure wear.
dude, I'll never forget. Like, I mean, Kirk is always in fucking. Something. Like a lot. Kirk Green is a classic.
And I mean, for
Yeah.
real, it does read well on the 70s, TV screens.
Honestly, I don't remember any other captains really having leisure wear that
Yeah, I
they
looked
wear
up.
often.
Sorry, I looked up
No.
Picard, and because I was like, is it not green? And it turns out he's just wearing white. It's just like a casual like bathrobe that he's thrown on.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I definitely supplied like the Kirk to him because it's not even close. And I think he's only
Um.
in that early episode.
Yeah. And Benjamin Sisko had some colorful stuff, but it's not like he was known for like a specific kind of like leisure wear thing. Um. And he was the more serious captain, so it's not like he is known for his leisure wear, really. Even though he had some really nice leisure wear, I think.
I'm trying to look it up so
Um,
I can get a picture of what you're talking about.
Captain Janeway had fucking, silky night slips. Of
Oh
course,
yeah.
we all, so,
Oh, that's right.
um,
Oh well, yeah. His
and
leisure
then
wear is classic.
Archer, I think had, like V-neck stuff to show off the Scott Bakula forest. But again, I don't think that it was ever anything that he was like really well known for as like a captain. Like I don't think he had any looks. Like Kirk had a look for
Yeah.
sure.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron, but I think Ike is getting a look with his cooking apron. I think Pike actually kind of has
Yeah.
a cooking apron thing going.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
he
fair.
does. Yeah.
I
Because he
mean,
likes to gather the
He
crew
does.
around his table and feed them.
and
Yes.
I think it's like a legit look where it's just like I think he might be remembered, like when he's not like he'll be remembered for the hair, and he'll also be remembered for the apron.
Yeah, fair.
Dude, the hair. Have you seen the Pike hair memes? Dude, they're off
No,
the
but
chain.
I didn't. I mean, like after seeing Pike, that was one of my first thoughts too. So, like, of course, like I'm glad there's jokes and jokes.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, the hair memes are off the chain, and I am here for it 100%,
Right.
110%. So I tried to bring a little bit of shine back into that to show the next thing I should do is I should get this. I want this. I mean, what color do we think the engine stuff should be? Because I don't want it to look like it's jet fuel burning. I want it to look more like it's, like nacelle energy from like Star Trek. So I was thinking like something close to like this, maybe like a bit more blue, but
Okay, cool. Yeah, just along the lines of what I was thinking too. Aaron?
not
Uh,
like
pink or yellow?
let's
Like just
try.
like it's a happiness drive. So
Yeah, because you said you wanted the love drive to be pink anyway, so let's try pink actually.
yeah.
I want it to
But
be
those are
vibrant.
those are like I want it to look happy, I guess. Uh
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
No.
Um, and then
Let's
also makes it,
try.
it does make it distinct. So when you see it, you're like, yep, there's the pecker.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm gonna do it like this. Also,
Is there space to put the pecker like insignia on the front of the ship, front-ish part of the ship? Obviously, we don't have to do that right now because we're working on color instead. But just as a thought,
to do what now? Sorry.
just so it has the name of the ship that we know that this is the pecker from the visual. Again, we don't have to do that right now because we're working on the. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Ooh, that actually looks kind of cool though. Yeah, that actually looks kind of. I did that on accident, gentlemen. I'm just going to be honest
Okay.
with you. Like I didn't.
That no, right?
I
That
didn't.
the
I didn't do that
reflection
on
off the
purpose.
ship. Yeah, that's super fun.
But that actually that looks pretty legit. So we're gonna leave it. Um,
And
I
you
wanted
think? Sorry.
to. Oh, sorry.
No, I was trying to predict
Um,
what you were gonna do, but I'm guessing it's a gradient from that pink to a whitish.
it's just it's a brush that has a soft edge,
Oh,
so
gotcha.
it doesn't. Yeah, it kind of like spits out pixels all around the radius of the brush edge, so it ends up kind of having this soft like blend effect. It looks sick though. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave that looking sick like that. And we want to get some. We're just gonna have to go to the top of the group here.
Like, what? That's awesome.
So, Antonio Cassidy, general.
Jack, dude, that's so sick. Like, that's turning out way better than my
Oh,
brain was even able to put out before.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'm pretty much sold on that purple or the mauve.
The pink. Yeah, and we'll get some pink on the leftover too. So let's figure that out. That's it. Whoops.
Oh, so there's a soft pink light like radiating through the ship because of the clit.
Yeah, exactly. And there's
Clit's an acronym, by the way. I mean, just because we haven't fleshed it out, uh-huh, uh,
ah,
doesn't mean that it's not an acronym. Just the same way as the wiener is an acronym. Clit had, I think the L stands for light, and then whatever the other three letters are is about, how the love drive works or how like love is sealed inside of it. Oh, it might be that the L is actually love.
yeah.
Aaron, you're great at joke acronyms. What?
Hell is full the way you look at.
But yeah, at one
Um,
point we should define the clit,
yeah,
like the jewel that she is, that whatever she's sealed in.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just some sort of specialized crystal, I guess.
Well, I mean, so you know the acronym, right? Like it's a CLIT. Uh,
Right.
so it's a
Uh,
something love interface technology or
oh,
something like that, like chicken
oh,
love interface technology.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Chicken love
like,
interface technology.
that's what it is.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
she's
that
sealed
makes
inside
sense.
of
Yeah,
chicken
that's
love
great.
interface technology. Yeah, she's sealed inside the clit. Um, I'm glad that we came up with that because it's been like in the back of my brain being like, yes, there's definitely a solution. I hadn't heard it yet, so. So that's like Richard's great discovery is he found out how to get people to pass chickens at least to move past death or like supersede their death.
He was just like he was trying to capture their love and turn love into an energy source.
Okay. So wait, so hang on. So it's not Chloe per se.
It's it's uh
It's Chloe's love?
it's it's Chloe's love for it's Chloe's love, it's Peter's love, it's their entire marriage worth of love and memories.
So
Because
again, but like
when
original question, it's not really Chloe, is it?
it might that's ambiguous to whether it's really Chloe or just Chloe's memories and personality and love.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then the question of like, what's the difference between those two anyway, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Like if they went to the cock version of True Paradise
okay.
and Chloe was also there,
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
then you'd have like real philosophical conundrums. I don't know that I see. I don't know yet whether like he was able to fully capture her soul or
Fair.
or not,
Well, it's
or
one of
if a
those
part of
those
her passed on.
yeah, it's one of those burning questions that it's definitely if we don't address it, the fans are gonna address it because It's
Yeah,
interesting.
that they're gonna
Yeah.
ask that question, and we're gonna say keep watching.
Well, but we also have to answer that question for ourselves, and that's why I'm asking it. Is because we in some ways don't have the luxury of
Yeah,
denying lore. You know what I mean? Because we're the ones who are in charge of it. So at least having
that's
some
that's
like,
what they did in Battlestar Galactica.
what was it?
Starbuck, what is she?
It's true. In Battlestar Galactica, they essentially made Katie Sackhoff's character into an angel, a
Maybe.
ghost. So,
Yeah, that's
she a vampire. I
right.
don't know
Uh,
what she is.
my favorite one was she was the child of Seven, but then they debunked that. They said no, that's not it.
I mean, where did she go in
Daniel was
the end?
supposed to be an artist.
I mean, in the
Like
round,
her,
and she just disappeared. It didn't age. Also, she wasn't aging, so
yeah.
she had to have been something between a Cylon and a human being because she wasn't aging. And then she just like, dude, she like Obi-Wan Kenobi'd. It's like someone came up behind her and hit her with the lightsaber, and she just fucking vanished. Like, I don't.
And
So my
it's
point is, it's not unprecedented.
well, no, but see, and that's exactly my point is like
But
for me, shows that like don't wrap themselves up is some of the most annoying like lore
I
ever.
I think I think it's her. I think I don't know that uh it could be replicated,
Okay,
but uh I do believe it is Chloe's soul.
okay. So she was so much like love was so much a part of who she was that her soul went with
Yeah,
it.
they like they because the the crystal doesn't connect just to Chloe's body. It also connects to Peter. Like
Okay, so hang
because
on, wait, we just pause real quick. So what do you mean by Chloe's body? Do you mean the love drive?
oh, I'm sorry. When in the creation of the clit, um, in the creation of the crystal,
Uh-huh.
when Richard is standing there with the crystal, and Peter is over Chloe's recently dead body.
Oh, so he attaches a crystal to her dead body and then to Peter, and it's the conjoining of it's the love between the two of them that she inhabits the crystal.
Yeah, and that also I feel captures her soul and spirit and mind, uh,
So again,
because
hypothetically, if they go to true heaven, Cox true heaven, then she's not there yet, right?
yeah, she's not there unless uh,
Unless.
so if I'm saying like if that crystal gets destroyed, she is released to true heaven,
Okay. Okay.
and they might want to go there to try to get her back.
Well, yeah, so I mean, we're just toying with this idea as a concept, but
Yeah,
the idea of an episode somewhere in the future, I don't know exactly where it falls, but All Cocks Go to Heaven is definitely an episode that I want to see.
yeah,
Because I want to, I mean, because we said it on the table in the first episode, you can use science to reach heaven, right? That's what we've set up,
yes,
which means that that's kind of a premise concept. Unless, so again, this is just my like theory about stories is that the same thing with like with a good improv scene or a good narrative is you start at one point and then you continue to explore that point thoroughly all the way out until it's complete and it wraps back up to the beginning because you're like now you also thoroughly understand the point. And like my problem with shows is this is a little bit of a rant, but shows that like Battlestar Galactica, which had two really good first seasons, and then they didn't know what to do, and so then they had to like try to come up with something that was as good as the first concept, but they didn't have enough to carry it, and it kind of like gets botched in the end. There's a bunch of examples. Breaking Bad's a great example, in my opinion. Lost is like the trope winning example of it, where they're just like, as long as it generates TV, then we'll do it. But like they're not caring about like what it means anyway, or like pieces are dropped off and stuff like that. So like for us, I'm like with this like the theory, like I want to make sure that like what we introduce to an audience is what they continue to get, and they only get more of it. Rant over.
Yeah. All right, I get it.
But
Yes.
yeah, I mean, like,
So
and I know you do too. Like, the most satisfying shows, like Doctor Who, is ones that have characters that continue to build on themselves and then have callbacks saying that we never forgot the content we've showed you before,
yeah,
except for when they intentionally retcon it or whatever.
I mean that happens sometimes.
But like, that's the guys. That purple is taking this whole color scheme into a completely different angle that I love a lot, but was not expecting because
Yeah,
the cock. Sorry.
these should not be purple. These should not be purple. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. These should not be purple.
Oh, it's like really interesting because the Cox thing is very much like boy energy, but then like visually with color, you're adding like girl energy to it too, which is great because I mean, obviously the love drive runs the pecker.
Right.
Yeah,
Like what we're definitely, I mean, one of the things we're trying to get in here is that it's both the genders working together that like makes things happen.
Yeah, for sure.
So
So
I don't know if there's an anti Andrew Tate, but that's kind of like a concept, right?
I mean, if there is, I hope they exist in this universe. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. We're just encouraging people to like just be good people, be good to each other.
Yeah,
Just the Bill and Ted's,
to
man.
not human traffic.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's where that leads to, like that sort of behavior where like I'm superior to other a whole other gender. You're like I can treat them as property. Like, hold up,
I
buddy.
mean,
No, just that's
yeah,
it's wrong on
hold up
so many
and
levels.
actually back up and get fucked. 'Cause
Right? Yeah, exactly. Like, bro. But yeah, I mean the thing that has been like this concern is like, I don't know exactly what groups people belong to now, but I mean just in general, I don't know. Let me not preface that comment, but like just that this show would be considered like misogynistic or in some cases like pornographic or like just that sort of thing. But like that it's not. You know what I mean? Like we're just like the purple and pink like really softens these panels a lot.
yeah, this is not stepping backwards. I don't know what the deal is with that, but
So anyway, Aaron, good call on trying to like push in that direction.
yeah. Also, like everybody does, like blue for the energy coming out of a ship. Uh,
Yeah, and it is
yeah,
regular, and that's why like I was kind of expecting that, or the yellow, which is like rocket fuel, which is regular. But yeah, there's something about it. There's something about purple that like it's like a gonzo color. I don't know how else to explain that. Except for it's like that. It's like in sync with everyone else, but in a weird way.
yeah.
All right, so we're in the last like 15 minutes or so, just so you're aware.
very cool, very cool. I am wanting to get some more rooster color down.
Nice.
Uh,
Also, this panel is just so fun because he's yelling Bakak at the love drive. I mean, just visually.
yeah, it is.
Also, I've been thinking more because we've been saying this. There seems to be like some sort of weird contention between Chloe and Richard. In the writing? I'm sorry, Aaron, you there?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm just. Where do you
Like,
see it?
well,
Or wait,
so okay,
expound
yeah, I
on
wasn't
that.
trying to like overwhelm the thought on it because I wasn't trying to bias you. But so there is some aspects that are interesting, right? Because one, he's her creator of sorts, right? Because he's the one who
Yeah,
created the clit. But then two, he's also her brother-in-law, so he knows her from before. So that, pass some memories on when she got absorbed into the crystal. Um, so and then there's just when they were put into crisis in the beginning of the bitch's booty, like the way that their dialogue was it's changed a little bit, but like it was like uh he I don't know, it's like so he takes care of her, but she's the one who runs the ship. You know what I mean? Like so they have those dynamics. I was just
yeah.
looking for your thoughts
It.
on it.
Uh. Wow. Like I think he just views it like I think Richard views it as he saved her life.
Okay.
And he also, but more importantly than he saved her life, he saved his brother's happiness.
Okay. So yeah,
Uh,
really
but
interesting,
but
right? So
also like yeah, I can see, but I don't know. He's also the sciencey guy, but like Chloe is the ship, so like
so he has to fix her,
it
right?
it's yeah, but it's like sort of like a Data Geordie sort of thing. Like, uh,
Okay, so they're more
I
like
mean,
pals.
technically, Data is a both a being and a machine.
Okay, right. And Jordy
Uh,
works on him and then also treats him like a person.
exactly. So Richard works on Chloe, but also treats her like the same as he did when she was alive. Uh, which is like they're close, but like he's not her husband.
Right, right. But they have a really intertwined relationship. Is that was more of the
Yeah,
thought that I was thinking in there too, is that like in some ways he knows her better because he helped like make her, sort of.
yeah. It's
And he hangs
yeah,
out with her
it's
all
just
day.
a. I feel like he hangs out with his brother, and also his brother's wife is there.
Okay, I got you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So they're on the ship doing their missions and then like she just is always present.
Yeah, and
Okay.
also like because of the way that she was saved, her relationship with Peter is even more important. Like
Her
like I
relationship
don't
with
know,
Richard
like
or
if
Peter?
Peter, like
Oh,
if
because he's okay. I'm sorry. I'm cutting you off.
because I think that Peter's existence also keeps her tethered
Yeah, that's the thing that you're saying.
to
We didn't actually get to explore that idea, but you're saying it's because he's also connected to the clit.
yeah, like so it's important to the Pecker for both of them to be there because Peter is what keeps Chloe tethered to this reality. Like him him loving her is part of the tether.
Okay, so
And
you're
her
saying
loving him is also part of the tether.
so
That's
if
why they have to come together every so often,
gotcha.
uh, because
Nice
because
pun, by the way.
otherwise they don't. Because otherwise it feels like the tether's weakening. Like if they don't see each other for a while,
Gotcha. So if Peter dies, the pecker goes down.
it might. Yeah, I was
That's
thinking about that.
that's
Like
interesting.
like she might become uh untethered and not fully herself. Uh,
Well, she's
like she
missing
might
half of her.
be Yeah, she's missing her other half.
Huh. Yeah, that's really interesting. Um, man, the Chloe lore goes deep. So, and
Yeah,
this is why
because
I'm asking these questions, man, because like I want to know.
so it's like I remember when we first did this, and I had this idea of the love particle.
Right,
And if you split a love particle and then brung back the particle together, it would be it would be like that energy when you haven't seen someone you loved in a long time,
right,
and you're
right.
like, oh my god! And so when they come back to each other, when Peter gives her like a hug and that stuff, it's like if you went on a business trip and you came home and you missed your wife.
Yeah, and that's why
And
he's
it'd be
like,
like that surge of yes, I'm finally together with my person, and that's the energy of the ship. That's the energy that gets created from their loving each other.
gotcha. Sweet. Yeah, it looks like we've got that page uploaded.
Yeah, I'm putting it up right now so
Nice.
everyone can see the.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that compression
Yeah,
changes those colors a little bit. Yeah, look at that glow though.
Oh wow.
So,
it looks pretty good.
what do you think about what do you think for the rest of the interior of the ship? Just kind of like ballpark in or spitballing.
Yeah, I put some red carpet down because again I'm like a Star Trek Next Generation nerd, but we can take a look at you know uh interiors and we can I mean there are all kinds of 1960s um you know just trying to find it. So like this is the 1960s. Maybe we should look at 1950s because like
Now, do you have it on another screen maybe?
oh yeah, sorry, my
Yep.
bad. I always forget the way that
When I heard you referencing it, I was like, all right, definitely. Like you're looking at something else, but all right.
yeah. Let's do 1950s. Oh,
Aaron, this is more on you, man, than me. I'm not real preferential about the color, but I'm sure that you have some thoughts.
Hmm.
Like, what does the inside of the pecker color scheme
dude,
look
I remember this picture. Dude, this
like?
picture when we were working on Earth Program, Caleb. This picture was an
That's where I've
inspiration
seen it
for the kit.
before. Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. I was like, looks super familiar. I thought it was like a meme or something. No, we just stared at it for so long because that was what Chris's house looked like, or that was one of the references, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that exact same picture. Yeah, I remember using it as an inspiration for that.
Okay.
Yeah, and like looking at colors from like let's look at 19.
So here's one of the thoughts I'm having is that I really wanted to support that purple. Like it like goes around the it like the love drive is like the central focus color and then everything kind of like is with that. I don't know if I know of
Yeah.
that style though, like that palette. Oh, like
Which one are
retro.
we talking?
So you know how the love drive is purple and has like
Uh-huh.
that purple and pink? Like the inside of the ship, I feel like should support that same color choice. Not like being purple,
Okay.
but like within that same like palette. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
So that's where I'm getting like you get like these blues and you get these like sort of like lavender or
Contrasts with
was
the
it
slate.
pumpernickel type colors.
Yeah.
There's another one that kind of like hits it too, where there's a little bit of this red too. So
And
these are the sorts of like color palettes that I was thinking of. That's why,
100%.
when you go back here, like the panels, I was making them this like slate kind of blue.
Yeah, no, yeah, I
And
get you. That's exactly you. I see what you got in your brain now, which I didn't before. So
yeah,
thank
I
you.
mean, you can see that orange is also a color that's used to kind of like accent it too.
Switch back real quick.
Um, oh, sorry,
Yeah, okay.
the thing keeps
Uh,
popping up.
oh, like that type.
Um,
Yeah, and so there's the green of
yeah,
his uniform. There's the red of the Cox combs,
yeah.
and they're all
Or
saying retrofuturism. This must be the thing that you're. No, okay, and but that really fits our aesthetic. Aaron, yay or nay?
Which picture are you
well,
specifically?
this picture, I think, kind of nails essentially not necessarily the style in terms of like textures, but in terms of like color palette. I feel like
Yeah,
this hits
like those deep blues, the grays,
the
Yeah.
little
the
pops of
inside of the
orange.
ship.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see that.
and then those like sea foamish kind of
Yeah.
green. Uh,
This one kind of hits it too. I don't know where like wood, where the really dark brown comes in. I don't know. Is that something that we want? I would
eh.
rather have that be like, blue or purple or so I don't know, some other color.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that's totally fair.
I don't know how to feel about that. And that one there it is. I don't know how to feel about that. But see,
It's
that's like a
both,
lot of like organized chaos, you know what I'm saying?
right?
Like the ceiling and the little rock crap
Mhm.
underneath the bunny, you know.
Right, yes.
That's that's like organized chaos. Um
That's funny.
See, like here's another one. I mean, again, like this is like more modern.
Yeah, that's modern
Um,
futuristic.
yeah, where it's like,
Mm.
I feel
it's
like
pretty
they've
Little too.
Spartan.
done a bunch.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a bit too sterile because they are chickens.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like I feel like there's edges and there's curves, but the curves are
Oh,
sparse-ish,
you talk about just in
sparse-ish.
terms of lines in that photo?
Yeah, well, no, because it's like if we take a look at like the screens are curved, the chairs are curved, but like there's a lot of like there's lines in the console edges, the keyboards. It's kind of like I don't know, like there's like a feeling of like regimentation in the structure, but also like in like yeah, there's like curvature, continuation, soft edge. Like there's a kind of like futurism in like that there are curves, but a lot of like angles too to kind of bring back in the idea that they're like on a mission. I don't know.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I definitely feel like, and that's why those color palettes you're bringing up actually fit that style. And I think the search you're doing, futurism, like you're nailing that. Uh, and like, yeah, it's just that palette. And I like where you're going with it, that very like
Yeah,
very cool uh color palette.
yeah. Because it is space,
Yeah.
like they're in space and they're, recycling air and they are like doing environmental stuff and, they're
So
keeping
can you
they're
scroll
they're
down
kind of
real
keeping
quick
things.
about 3 pages? There's one that's on the left-hand side, which I think hits all the colors that we're kind of talking about. A little further, if you don't mind. I recognize there's a little bit of a delay.
This one.
I thought I just saw it. That it has a combination of like yellow, green, blue. That's weird. Yeah, I didn't see it on the slow scroll down, but you're obviously further than you were before. You mind again just scrolling up? Oh, there it is, right there, right above your head. Sorry, 2 scrolls down and then right above your head. Oh, you can't see it. All right, my bad. A little bit further. It's coming up right behind you. It's creeping behind you,
This one.
Jack. Yeah, scroll down just a
This
little bit.
Dubai hotel.
One down, right below that. See right there. I think
This
that's
one.
kind of like that's the color palette you're going for,
That's
right? Like purple,
um
red, yellow,
yeah. These are
punctuated
the
by
I
white.
mean like a little bit more white than this. Like the floors. I want like because this, like, I want this carpet leading to the love drive to be white. Like, I want this to be white, and then I want like the workstation areas to be like on this red carpet.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I want the consoles to be kind of like lighter colored, so that the buttons and everything can kind of like pop on them. So, but you're right. Like, these colors kind of do hit some of the colors that I want. I don't know if I want yellow so much in a lot of the like pieces of furniture. Like, I
Yeah, I
want the
don't think
yellows to
that.
definitely be like
I think
the
those are like
buttons.
buttons and stuff. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's kind of
Yeah,
where I was thinking too. But it's just like the yellow is so little in mass of all that purple and all that red, and then those deep
yeah.
blues.
Like the Ren and Stimpy colors was kind of like wanting me to like mess with purple to see just what it looked like in the in the shadows. And I kind of like the purple shadow. I mean, again, I'm gonna have to kind of like play with it to see. I may end up taking some of this blue out of here and just having it be just purple and like white or like slate gray. Because I think the blue I put in there before because I wanted it to be kind of like a monitor color. Like, I imagine, like when the ship is like dark, like if the ship is running at like, like silent running or whatever, it's just like a bunch of like dim blue and like dark purple, where it's just like, it's just like cold space and like monitors. Um, and then they're like piercing yellow eyes. But we can definitely like play around with it. But yeah, like I am kind of liking the purple.
Yeah, it was like a good bold choice, and I'm really falling for it. So that's why I'm like, let's support that bold choice and see what else goes with it. Um, yeah, that definitely, yeah, I definitely believe in it. Cool, man. So we'll get together Sunday. Y'all free?
Yep, I'm
Okay,
definitely free.
cool.
Yeah,
Sunday at 7:30.
7:30,
I
we'll
will be
make it
meeting.
happen. Yeah,
sounds
sweet,
great.
man. All right, good to see you, man. And Aaron, I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yep. See you tomorrow.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a
Yeah.
good night.
You
I'll
too,
talk
man.
to
Have a
you
good
later.
night.
Later.